we on? Okay guys, I do believe that the stream has started, so if you are watching this on YouTube, welcome, and I will wait a little while just in case people want to start watching on Twitch. I'm just trying to load up on my laptop to see if the video is going to play, if this is online, and it is. So from what I can see, it has started on streaming. So here we go, and it is the Sunderland FIFA 17 career mode, and I'm looking on the laptop right now. It is not far behind, so that is pretty good. So here we go then. First time streaming, so this is something that I am obviously just trying out now, and hopefully it works out alright. So obviously I got this going, and I think I'm just going to get into the video. For an offline save, I did change the game settings. Obviously I use my own sliders in this series, so I'm gonna have to go and look at the picture I took of them before, just to make sure that I am using the sliders that we were using before on this series. So you can watch along with this, or you can maybe try and skip ahead if you want to, just so I get back how it was before. So 5 minutes a half, legendary, default ball, game speed normal. It's weird how I took the pictures, so you're just gonna have to deal with this. So first touch control lever of the CPU is 40, the fullback positioning 50, width 55, length 50, height down at 30, the run frequency stays at 50, and then on to the next picture, which is over to the user. So at 51 at sprint speed, 52 acceleration, shot error 55, pass error 55, moving on to the shot speed, which is 51, and pass speed is 55. So then injury frequency, which is down at 40 because injuries are very common on career mode, and then injury severity down at 35. Goalkeeper ability all the way down at 25. The computer will not be as low. The marking of the user is at 65. The run frequency at 60. The 65 for the line height of the user. And moving on, we get to the line length at 50, the line width at 65, the fullback positioning at 50, the power bar at 50, and the first touch control error at 55. So moving back to the CPU, their sprint speed 51, acceleration 52, shot error at 40, and pass error at 35. So pretty low for them, so less error. And shot speed and pass speed the same as the user, 51 and 50 respectively. As with the user, severity, injury frequency and severity is the same for the CPU as the computer. The goalkeeper ability is at 40, and then moving on to the marking, that's at 65. The run frequency at 60. And the line height, actually the line height's 65, so I got that completely wrong. So I should actually have just been looking at these pictures. Then it's 50 for the line length, then width is actually 65, then 50 for the positioning, and 40 for the first touch control error. So that is it so far for this thing, and that is how we're going to go ahead into the first game, which is against Tottenham Hotspur. At home in the league, as you can see, in second behind Manchester City on goal difference, and hopefully get into the game. So at home in the first game, using the home kit, Tottenham in their away kit, for Tottenham. So yeah, their second kit, and I know it's likely that you're not going to be watching this in live stream, but hopefully some people do show up. There's only one person watching the stream at the minute, and that is me on my laptop, so no one here at the moment, but hopefully a few people may show up later on in the stream. But if not, you can just watch this as it happens, and hopefully you enjoy the stream, even if it is on YouTube. So actually I'm going to stick Danny Burra in there, for Laren and move him to the cam position, because there are not many fit strikers in the team. And move Gray down the center, stick him at striker, and see if there's another striker that can come on. There's no really fit ones. I'll just have a look who's fitter, him or Kyle Hearn, as obviously Carmore is picked up a big injury before. Lauren actually has less fitness, so he will stay on the bench. And that is how the game is going to set up. I'm actually going to stick this guy on the bench as well with Teo. And also I prefer a center back to be on the bench rather than a fullback. So that is going to be the team for this first game. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. So getting into the first game at home to Tottenham Hotspur. So I also want to wait till people show up to ask some questions in case people want to know that. But I'm thinking that was pretty poor. But I'm thinking of later on, if there are people in the stream, if they want to see me attempt to win the daily knockout tournament, to try and win the Pulisic card, the young American winger for Dortmund. So here we are into the first game. Gonna wait and show the lineups, which is what I want to be able to do, as that was requested of me previously. So here we go into the first game against Tottenham Hotspur at the Stadium of Light. There he is, captain in Jalabaji for some reason, which I've just realized I need to change that around, because I think I put him on the left hand side, no, the right hand side, when he's actually meant to be down the left, because he is a left footed center back, and I prefer the left back, well, the left footers to be on the left hand side if that is possible. But there we go, behind by 6 goal difference. Behind Man City, but hopefully we can build it up and get not far behind them. So obviously Sunderland were relegated in real life. That was disappointing, but what can you expect? We've been asking for it the past few years, and it's just not been good enough. I want to say congratulations to Newcastle United, Brighton and Hove Albion and Huddersfield for getting promoted to the Premier League. Huddersfield, I watched the match yesterday. It wasn't the best, but a good penalty shootout, and they got through it in the end. I do believe I heard first side in history to receive promotion from the Championship with a negative goal difference, so that's a good achievement for them. I think that just means they won a lot of games 1-0 and lost some games by a decent amount. So obviously there is the side for us. Saw it as I was setting it up, so not much really to talk about, although it has put it as a 4-4-2 because it does think that rather than me changing it normally. So a pretty similar Tottenham side to what they start with. Actually, there's no new players in that starting lineup. On the bench they do have Sebastian Quarez, who I sold to them, and Ross Barkley, so I think them are the only 2 changes to the Tottenham side. Actually no, Luciano Vieto from Sevilla, I do believe, has also signed for them. So he should be a decent signing for them. Mike Dean, the referee, as we get into this first game of the stream, which is at home to Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, obviously no one in the stream, so it's hard to chat about it. But there's nothing really to talk about, but just hopefully you can enjoy the stream, as I'm just gonna try see something about my players that I do like to pass it about a little bit. So let's try and make an opening up, and cross into the box is poor, but Dyer puts it behind for a corner to me. So I usually position my corners about there, whip it in to Jalabaji, and that was a poor attempt to get it, but luckily they left the ball, and I can just pass it to Blin, who wins it back. So hopefully we can do something in this game as we look to try and get top of the league. Like I said earlier, if we qualify for the Champions League, now that I got Lukaku in on a pre-contract, it will be great if I am able to bring him in to a side in the Champions League, because I do think this may be the final season with Sunderland, as I would look to move on to a different club, maybe a different challenge, so probably a different country, try and Just see what other leagues are like. And Maurice has to punch it away, but hopefully if we can play in the Champions League, hopefully we can try and win that and the league next year with players like Lukaku. But that is a very poor throw-in, so we're just gonna go ahead here, and like I say, if we do well this season, we should get top 4 at least, if not a title. But next season, with players like Lukaku, hopefully bring in a couple players in this transfer window as well. Obviously I turned down Chris Smalling on a pre-contract as well. I didn't want to make too many pre-contract signings, but obviously Lukaku is a big player to be bringing into the club. Obviously a lot better than Sunderland at the minute, and that's a good tackle, but not the best of balls. But Gray, with his pace, should be able to keep a hold of this. So he's going to play it into Zakaria and back to Gray, into Blin. Zakaria, can I get a shot away? No, but Gray is there. Out to Mathis. Mathis to Matthews, whips in, and offside is Barrera. And the referee's actually going to give that as well, rather than just letting Tottenham play the advantage. So I think I'm going to be streaming for about an hour, maybe it's an hour and a half. Just see how things are going. If no one shows up, maybe I'll only get a couple games played. But I may be looking to make this series more streamed, as I have a lot of videos recorded for the Ultimate Team series. Oh man, my own left back blocked that. But anyway, left back, sorry. That is the next game coming up. But like I say, I have a lot of videos recorded for the Ultimate Team series, as I have a few weeks worth of videos for that. So if I do show that recording, there will be a little bit spoiled, but not too much. And we'll see the new teams as well that I do have, which are a lot different to the sides which we had been using. So hopefully if a few people show up and want to see some of that, then that is something I will also want to show. I'd obviously stop the stream so I could upload this stream separately, but hopefully it goes alright. And if few people show up and do want to just keep watching the Sunderland career, I will stream for a couple of hours if that is better for people, although it will be hard for people if I'm uploading videos that long to YouTube. But it's up to people to watch it. You can always stop it. YouTube now have started making it where if you are logged in, I do believe, and you just stop, like if you turn a video off, it will let you pick up where you left off if you go to the video again. So that is always good. Now that that has been implemented, it's been here for a while. Obviously, it's just something I've never addressed before, as I've never really had to. But because of that, people can just go away if they're sick of watching it and just come back another time. There is Gray making the run. Not the best ball by Mattis, but Gray's got it. Try and beat his man, pull it back, and nobody there. So Gray is not able to do anything. Obviously, I've got Federico Fazio in the game, but obviously I started this when he just signed for Roma, so he did not start as high of an overall, or else he would be a bit better for me. Obviously he got a team of the season as well recently, and most consistent, meaning he will be re-implemented when it comes to bringing out this Calcio A team of the season, as it is now called. Obviously it's really Serie A, as that is how I will call it. If I have a team around that, I would do it. On my main account I do have a Serie A team, well, pretty much a full Serie A team, as I do believe it is one of the best leagues to build on FIFA. I know Premier League there is more chance of you getting more good special cards, especially this year. That's a really good chance. That's strange that Domitru's name came up there when he didn't get a touch, but unlucky for Tottenham not to take the lead there as they win it back. But like I say, for someone with a lot of coins who's really good at the game, it has been pretty easy to build Premier League sides this season because of how many special cards EA have brought out. But I do believe Serie A may be one of the best, as Tottenham take the lead, as my centre backs were away from Harry Kane. But like I say, because of how many special cards there are for the Premier League, it is easy for people with a lot of coins to make Premier League sides. But I do believe that if you don't have that many coins, but have a decent amount, especially now that team of the season is out and the prices are down, it is pretty easy to build a really good Serie A team, because they have a lot of high rated players that aren't very expensive. I've got to stop crossing because Barrera isn't that good in the air. He's pretty short. But that's why I do believe Serie A is one of the best this year. I never really built one in the past, but I never really played Ultimate Team in the past before this FIFA. So, I mean, Foot Champs I do pretty decent in my main account, but I'm just gonna say a little spoiler here. We haven't qualified before on the Road to Glory. Pretty shocking considering we don't buy players, it's just pack pulled, and we usually just open bronze packs, so it's unlikely that we will ever qualify, although in the last few episodes you will see we have a better team because of what has happened with my Xbox account, so a good chance for Tottenham there. But that is, for now, hopefully, the end of the Ultimate Team talk. I also take goal kick short, not on Ultimate Team though, because that's pretty much Ultimate Team suicide. No run for Mathis, as Son can make that header easily, so good play for Tottenham so far. I thought I was probably the better side early on. That's a good tackle by the Jules Badji. But Wanyama's shot straight at the goalkeeper, and hopefully we can build up a chance here. So I realized I've been going a bit quiet, not very cheery either, so hopefully picking up in this game, try and get an attack away. I'm actually going on to attacking now, as we can hopefully just try and get something in this game. Tottenham aren't the easiest team to beat, obviously finished second this season, and I'm actually going to make a substitution here as I try and make this game go a little bit better for us. Just opening my windows as well because it is very warm in my room. I'm actually going to bring Blin off, so go back to the 4-4-2. Yep. So Zakaria and Barrera in midfield. And I'm actually going to bring the Soro on, the young Swedish striker. He has good potential on the game 80, I do believe, so hopefully we can get away with something here and eventually get a point, hopefully. But that's a poor tackle by Zakaria and a foul on Harry Kane. He goes into the book, so straight away after making our first substitute, one of the men we kept on the pitch is going into the book. But luckily we've been able to deal with that, and that's good from Barrera. So back to him, and hopefully Soro makes that run, which he does. And I can see Gray at the far post if we'd been able to hold on to it properly, but that's poor from Soro. That was not meant to be a shot, so Tottenham are getting the ball back because I was just trying to make a tackle and it picked up that I had the ball apparently, even though I'm not even sure I had possession at any point. He just swung at the ball and hit it. So hopefully we can get some of it away. And that's a good ball by Tottenham through the Sun. Obviously, on my main account I have his Player of the Month card. It is one of the best cards on the game, if not the best. Obviously, it's been said too often, but it's a pretty obvious thing that all of his stats on his card are better than that of the base 94 rated Cristiano Ronaldo. But whenever I come up against Ronaldo, I never struggle against him, but on the other hand, Son is a really good player on the game. So, and that is Adam Matthews with a good chance, and he's actually hit that wide himself rather than that being deflected wide. So, like I say, a bit more talk of Ultimate Team, but Son is a really good card to have. I do have a Premier League side as well as Serie A on my main account, but like I say, Son is one of my favorite cards on the game, if not my favorite. Another player who is really good is Higuain, who I have on my Serie A team. But obviously Dele Alli coming forward here, his 91 rated team of the season card and young player of the season card looks pretty good. I thought that was a foul on Zakaria, and they've gotten a corner out of it. And I'm going to make my second sub here as we try and get something out of this game. I'm actually going to bring Zakaria off here for Teo, and hopefully something can happen the last 20 minutes just for us to try and get a goal. So they've actually used the Ultimate Team technique, going near post from a corner, and that's a good save by Dummy True. So hopefully we can actually get out of defense here. And they've actually gone a totally different one there, and that's a really good strike by Eric Lamela on his weaker right foot, and we just can't get out of defense. Oh, nobody marking him, and luckily Dyer puts it well over. So 15 minutes left for us to try and get something out of this game. So hopefully Rico Henry can do something. He beat his man there well. Guerrero back to Henry. Make the run. Guerrero, I'm sorry. Oh, nobody in the right position. If he'd been further wide, he could have ran down the wing, but unfortunately he was too central for my liking. That's a good ball by Tottenham. Dembele down the wing actually whips it in. Oh, what? I actually pressed to get rid of the ball with Chilabaji there, but for some reason he did not. So here we go, trying to defend another corner, and it's out on the edge of the box again. Nobody marking Dyer, and another good save by Dumitru. I'm actually gonna make sure someone is at the edge of the box this time. And they put it in right next to the keeper and held by Dumitru. So out to Gray, hopefully he can do something, but he's touched it completely the wrong way and kicked it off of Alex Tellez. I'm sorry, I realize I've called him two different names here. Hopefully Barrera's pressure here will help us win the ball back. Unluckily it hasn't, and Trippier's been able to turn him around. It's actually, yeah, Teo. I think it's either Alex or Andre or Andres. I'm just not very good with. I not actually know him that well. Oh, I've pressed to pass that. The game is not working for my liking at the minute. Hopefully Asoro can pick out a good pass here and make the run, and Asoro has the chance here. Through hit it left-footed. Oh, that's a poor shot. And because it registered as a shot, it's not allowed to go through. I'll just go all-out attack, try and get something in this last 2 minutes. It is very unlikely though, as Dembele is just going to be able to take it towards the corner flag. Going to whip it in though, away by Henry. Should be. That's a poor header. Dumitru holds on. Oh, I've thrown it out poorly. Dyer intercepts, and unluckily Guerrero can't win it back. There is no chance for well, 4 minutes left. Hopefully we can get something. Matthews back to the goalkeeper, and hopefully we can quickly get forward. But that is one of the worst passes I've ever seen. So there is going to be no chance of me getting a goal. Matthews with the tackle. But that is the full-time whistle. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. First game finished. And that's pretty bad. A defeat to Tottenham, but it was not going to be an easy game. And hopefully this is how things are going. I actually noticed there is another viewer here now, so hi. If you want to say hi in the chat, that would be much appreciated. And you have just, well, I don't know how long it's been there. I think it's only just, so 2 viewers now, well, 1 extra viewer from my obviously laptop, just that, so I was checking that the stream is working. And obviously I got the chat box open, although I'm not logged on. But I do believe I can chat on the Xbox, so here, well, I did get an international management offer earlier on. And I'm just going to advance now into the first game, which is against, well, the second game, sorry, which is against Fulham. We may only get 3 games played, which I don't think is too bad for this career mode. There is some tournament prize money get picked up for the FA Cup, which I do think means that the FA Cup next round has been drawn if I'm in it. Which I can't actually remember. Yeah, we lost to Southampton, so we're not even in the next round. And now I'm looking on my laptop and it's saying that there's 3 people watching now, so that's pretty good, cool. And that people have showed up for this. And I'm not going to bother saving it. I'm just going to go into the next game against Fulham, and just once again auto-replacing the players that are unavailable to play. So once again, I think the Sunderland kit's a bit more red than white, so I'm just going to put Fulham in their white kit and get into the next game. I'm just going to stick with them 2 up front again. Just stick with that starting 11, maybe change something. Actually, Chilabaji wasn't meant to be in the starting lineup. I forgot Kone was meant to be. But that is going to be the team going into the next game in the episode. No better strikers really to put on the bench. Cifuentes I'm actually going to put on the bench over Barrera and get into this game. So, hi to the people watching. Thanks for joining the stream. And we're just going to do this. Get into the next game, which is at home to Fulham at the Stadium of Light. So hopefully get something out of this game. And actually it would be great to win this game, because I do believe we may have dropped a little bit behind Chelsea now in the title race. Actually, it's at Manchester City, sorry. And our goal difference took another bit of a hit. So here is Fulham's away record. They've won 2, drew 1, and lost 9, so it's really a game we should be winning. And hopefully we will be able to hold on and, well, not hold on, but go ahead and beat them. Hopefully look for a few goals in this game, which would be good for not just our goal difference, but just to watch as well, as we are back down to 1 viewer. So anyway, that's not really important. This is mainly for the people on YouTube, as I found it hard to just put the videos together lately, get the recordings done as well, and get the audio recorded. So this is the best time to be streaming this week, because I have a lot more free time. So there is the side for us. Only one change has been said by the commentator, but there is a few more than one change. But there is one from the side that was expected to start, so that might be just what he thinks. It's just hopefully this is how it goes. So hopefully we go ahead and get the win in this second game. Yeah, Bobby Madley, the referee, and here we go into the second game of this episode, which is at home to Fulham. So obviously Fulham got promoted at some point along the season. I believe this is the 3rd season, so they either got promoted in 1st or 2nd. I can't remember if I played them or not in the last season. But they have won 2 and drawn 1 away from home, so they are not easily beaten. Although it shouldn't be too hard of a task for the side that are in the top 2. But that is a chance for them in the opening 5 minutes, as they try and put my words to bed, as they try and get something from this game after I've expected them not to. And we've given the ball away so cheaply there. And I actually do believe that this game is going to be a struggle for us now that I have said all of this. Playing the opposition down as I really shouldn't have. So hopefully we can just get away with a win in this game now. Yeah, so here we go. And Declan John down the line. I saw Sylvie making the run, a player that was suggested by a viewer. Put on to his right, I do believe he's right-footed anyway. Farrell back to him, plays the 1-2. Oh, I was going for the shot. Odoi with the tackle. The man who can control a ball with his back. I'm actually not sure what foot serve he is now. I'm questioning myself, but Farrell, the run wasn't the best from Corchia. And nobody ready to pounce on the keeper getting the ball, but I've won it back. Alarm with the header on to Gray. Hopefully he makes the run back through. Beat his man, go for the... Oh man, a poor finish once again. Just as Asoro had in the last few minutes of the last game. So unlucky that Kalaran is unable to score on his weaker foot, and they're also taking their goal kick short, so maybe that is something we can get a chance from. So I actually think this may be the final game of the episode that I do play, because I'm getting a bit tired of talking, and I might actually pause the game to go and get a drink, or maybe just wait till halftime, as that might be a bit better. I'll actually just wait for it now. So actually no, I will go at halftime, as I do not want to just stop the game for no reason whatsoever when it comes to going onto YouTube. So hopefully we can get something. Here's Farrell to Corchia, into Farrell. Gray, play the 1-2. Gray making the run, and oh, that's a really good tackle by Ragnar Sigurdsson. So I do like to watch some of the championship when possible. Obviously I'll be watching it a bit more next year now that Sunderland are in the championship. But hopefully, I'm not even bothered really about getting straight back up. It's more about watching us win a few games, watching good football as well. Because not only have we not won much in the last few seasons, it's not been good to watch either. It's been boring, and that is why a lot of fans are happy to see us out of the Premier League. One of the few obviously the highlights from these 10 years in the Premier League are the sort of like playing pretty decent under Bruce, getting top half football, despite him saying it was his worst spell in management, worst decision to ever come and manage Sunderland. Craig Gordon's save against Bolton was a memorable point. Darren Bent is a really good player for us at the point before he decided to leave and go to Aston Villa for the money. And he, as much as people don't like him, you cannot fault that. He was one of the best strikers we've had, as Kyle Larin goes through and puts us into the lead, trying to step up to the standards after bringing him in from Orlando City. So really good start in this game for us. Larin threw on goal, scored. So anyway, obviously big highlights are beating Newcastle 6 times in a row. Sadly that couldn't continue. I'm pretty glad we're not playing them next year either, because even if we'd stayed up this season, it would be us staying up after having a poor Premier League season, while them coming up after playing well in the Championship and going on to win it. So it would have been Championship winners against continuous Premier League strugglers, and I actually wouldn't fancy our chances of getting a win. And that is just me being truthful. And that is why I'm not too bothered that we aren't playing them next season. And that is poor defending. Luckily, Dumitru makes a really good save. And we're just trying to get away from defence now. More highlights, obviously, going to Wembley under Gus Poyet, a manager that I do like. All the saves, really. Not saves as in goalkeeper saves, but managers coming in and saving us. And just how we haven't improved over them 10 years. We had the really good spell under Bruce, especially that 10-11 season where we were 6th at the end of January before a pretty poor end to the season. But what can you do? The 3-0 against Chelsea is another big point. That the thing is, a lot of people say Darren Bent leaving was a down point in that season. Bent wasn't even in the team that night when we beat Chelsea 3-0. He was injured, and it was Welbeck and Gian did so well. If we'd signed Welbeck and kept Gian, I'm sure we would have done a lot better that next season, because we made a lot of signings. Not all of them were the best. We brought in some poor players, some that were bad but did some good stuff for the club, like David Vaughan. Was not a good player, but he joined that summer and he scored 2 really good goals over actually 3. I think he scored 3 for Sunderland, and all of them were really good goals against Wigan, Blackburn, and obviously Newcastle in that first 3-0 win. But you gotta look at the signings in that January as well, that 2011-12 season. I think we made 2, possibly 3, but all I can remember is getting Kyriakos and Wayne Bridge in on loan, and they were not the best players. But that was under Martin O'Neill, bringing them in. Obviously, Paolo Di Canio did one good thing, really, and that was beat Newcastle 3. Well, I say that he also beat Everton 1-0 in the game, which was David Moyes' last game against us for Everton, and it was the only time ever that we beat an Everton side controlled by David Moyes. Obviously, we beat them again the next season when Ki Sung-young scored the penalty, and the season... Actually, no, not the season after. No, we did beat them the season after that as well. In the 14-15 season, we beat them at Goodison Park as well when it hit off. Well, Danny Graham scored his first ever goal, and there was also a goal for Defoe after. I'm pretty sure he handballed it, but we'll not talk about that, as this is pretty fun just talking about Sunderland for a little bit. I do realise I did not get a drink at halftime. I'm just gonna leave it till after the stream has finished, as I'm not really desperate for one. But yeah, we beat them under Dick Advocat as well. So Di Canio, Advocat and Poyet all were able to get wins against Everton, and Sam Allardyce did, as he was the manager that beat them 3-0 at the end of last season to keep us up. Really good chance there, and a good save by David Button. So, yeah, the last 4 managers we've played have all beaten Everton. before David Moyes came in, and he lost both games. 3-0 and 2-0, pretty poor defeats, and just awful, really. It's been a really bad season under Moyes. And he's obviously not the whole reason we're down, but he's not a good, well, he's not been a good manager for us. I'm not saying he's a bad manager, just he did poorly at Man United, he did poorly at Sociedad, and he's done poorly at Sunderland. Obviously, now that he has left, I'm not sure who Sunderland are going to get in to replace him, but hopefully just whoever comes in can do a good job for us. But anyway, my focus has got to be on this career mode for now, especially now that the season's over and there's nothing that can be done. Only one game left, only one big game left in the season, which is obviously the Champions League final on Saturday night.
Any thoughts on
And
Fulham's next fixture, Alan?
Yeah, they're playing Spurs in the next match. And you know what, Martin? I
That
think
is
it's going to
poor
be
for
tough for
him to
them.
lose it. So Tottenham playing against Fulham, so this is their next game. So the two sides we played in this episode are going to be playing against each other. So I really want to make a sub, but the ball hasn't went out for a while. I'm actually going to make a double substitution when it eventually does, but not yet, because Dummy True is just going to hold on to that cross and throw it out to Blin. Good bit of play here, and hopefully we can get forward again. Survey a little far back, but there he is on the ball, cutting in and passing it to Gochia, who is on the left-hand side for some reason. I see Lauren making the run through and goal. Lauren with the chance, 2-0 to Sunderland, and we've surely got to win now. Kyle Lauren with the brace, and I am going to pause it now to make the double substitution. I'm actually going to bring Gray off for Cohen Wood and Farrell off for Zakaria coming on. And hopefully the two of them can just come on and make sure we do not let this game slip. We really shouldn't now, as Lauren has now got 3 goals in the Premier League for us after scoring in the previous episode. I believe may have been the last one, actually. I do know he scored in the cup. Well, I believe he scored in the cup, but hopefully we're able to just hold on to this win now. Maybe he's even try and get the hat-trick for Kyle Lauren. That's not really going to trouble my team, but I'm not sure why Dummy True has been allowed to pick that up. Coleman is just going to be able to pass that out to Survey, and I'm going to make the run down the left-hand side. Hopefully they make the run into the box once I get close enough into the box, but nobody there. If there had been, I wouldn't have had to go too close to the byline, and I wouldn't have been putting it that close to the goalkeeper. So Coachia losing out on the ball. Odoi on the ball, sorry. I did believe we would be able to score at least a couple goals in this game. Obviously Fulham on the worst side. They got unlucky not to get promoted in real life. I know they came from pretty much behind to get into the playoffs, but I know coming into the playoffs a lot of teams a lot of people thought that they would be the side to win the playoffs, and a lot of teams were said to not be wanting to be the side to play Fulham. Obviously Reading did, they were able to beat them, but unfortunately for Reading they lost on a penalty shootout, and Huddersfield got through again. Coleman just going to make that run into a position where but they're going to get into the corner. Anyway, the goalkeeper's forward again, so Coleman is going to make that run again. Hopefully I can get the ball and get it away. Zakaria though with the header not too good, and nobody in the center, and they are able to just hit the shot off of Kone and out. So getting the Lauren actually the player making the run this time, but their player is able to control it on his chest. Hopefully their player puts it into a position where we can get the ball back, but actually Christensen beat my man and Dummy True with the save. So despite their goalkeeper coming forward, I'm not able to get it out, as it would have been great to try and get it. Oh man, I'm actually not able to get out of defense, and now that we finally do, the referee blows the whistle and we are not able to score from it. So a really good win there, actually saying that we only had one shot on target, and that being Lauren in the 77th minute, so it didn't count his first goal as being a shot on target. But that is a good win for us, winning 2-0. Manchester United drawing 0-0 with Everton, while Leicester and Chelsea both won at home without conceding. So not too many goals, all home sides with a clean sheet. And actually, if we were put between Chelsea and Leicester, it would read 3-2-1. Man City have a game in hand. That will probably be played before the next game. I'm actually going to advance to it before I end the episode. We get an international management offer from Finland, which I'm not interested in. And that is what's going to happen right now. Actually, Tottenham, I did not realize were that close to us, and they've actually gone above us and Manchester City and gone top since they beat us. Manchester City drew their game, so they go second. Well, they were already above us, but they go a point clear of us in second. And actually no games for a couple of weeks now. And actually, if we don't play on the Sunday, yeah, we're gonna actually, that's gonna be 3 weekends, I believe, without a game. United States also going to reject. I'm not interested in an international management job. We're too far behind on videos anyway, and we're just gonna be able to advance onto the first day of the next month. Before ending this episode, Caramore returning from injury is really good news, as he will be able to come in, hopefully pick up where he left off after having a really good month. A training injury, Cameron Ward out for 3 months, so he's not really a first team player, but it is disappointing not to be able to get him back into the starting lineup for the rest of the season. Some pretty decent players, Jay Edwards I'm going to get rid of, but he is the only player I'm releasing. I'm actually going to sign up Simon Okoye. Looks a decent player at left mid, 62 overall with the potential of 82 to 94. And Harrison Baker looks decent as well, but we don't need another keeper at this time, so I'm gonna leave him for now. All the others with a maximum potential of at least 90. And since it is the first day of the month, sorry, I will be showing a squad report to finish off the live stream. Obviously, Sergi Gomez also injured, so Dumitru up by 8. His kick-ins now to 99. The Polish goalkeeper Patrick is up 1 to a 78 already. I'm actually going to give that a go. Skrzbicki? I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Sebastian Corchia up to an 81 overall. Pedro Jesus, an exciting prospect, up 1 to a 62, but hasn't played this season. Corchia has 16, while them two have 24 and 6 respectively, but some of his games were for West Ham. Reece Morgan up 1 to a 61, showing great potential, no games. Adam Matthews up 1 to a 76, excellent form, doing pretty well. 14 games, 3 goals is not bad whatsoever for a fullback. Sergi Gomez coming in with 5 weeks left on his injury, so probably next month, start of the next month, he should be back into the team. Played 22 games in the league, scored 1, played 1 in the FA Cup as well, and growing pretty nicely up to an 82. Maurice Da Costa now up to an 80 overall, looking pretty good. Played 6 games, kept 2 clean sheets after the £20 million transfer from Hamburg. Chilabaji a 79 overall, played 21 games in all competitions, 8 clean sheets, not bad. Federico Fazio has only played 4 games in all competitions. He needs a bit more game time. He's actually kept 2 clean sheets in 2 in the Premier League now, so it's not bad for him despite being transfer listed. Yasmin Hajradonovic, he is up by 2. He is transfer listed because his potential isn't very good. He's only played 1 game, the young man from Bosnia, which is strange that maybe he's going to have 8 years left of growing, and he can't go up by 10 overall. Is pretty hard to take that he will not have good potential. Casey O'Carroll up by 3 to a 66 overall, showing great potential, also not played this season. Danilo Vasquez has potential to be special and also hasn't played. He looks like he could be a decent player in the future, although he is only 5'11" for his centre back. Kwame Kingdom, the player that I used to get one of the objectives complete, he's actually not that bad of a player, although his stats do not show that at the moment. You never know, he might grow up to be a good young centre back. At 6'3", he will make a decent heighted centre back at least. Kone 77 overall at the age of 30. Not played too many games, been a bit of a bit part player. Rico Henry came in for Brentford, a straight swap for Van Aanholt, a player that I wanted rid of, as he is not well liked at Sunderland at the minute, I think maybe fair to say. 4 clean sheets in 7 Premier League games is pretty decent, more than one every other. 1 yellow card, growing pretty well. Look at his pace now, 96, a really fast left back for us. Declan John coming in with actually really good pace as well. I think that would translate in 95, as the average would be 94.5. So I think you would round up, although, well, I know with maths you would round up, but I'm not sure how EA work it. Alexis Blin up to a 79 overall, looking really good at the age of only 22. Obviously not the fastest, but look at his stamina, 87. His defensive stats are all 80 plus, so looks like a good player. David Bliska has not played. Actually, I forgot to show the rest. Declan John played 20 games, kept 9 clean sheets, so nearly won every other game. Blin has 1 assist in his 20 games, not too bad considering he's a defensive midfielder. No games for David Bliska, although I think he has played a bit in the past. He's showing great potential. Lee Cattermole has played 18 times in the league with 1 assist and 1 in the FA Cup. Not grown up, but 78 overall. Fabio Borini, 79 overall, not the most well-liked player among Sunderland fans at the moment. 12 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, 1 goal and 1 FA Cup appearance as well. Walter Mathis, one of my favourite youth academy players on this. In fact, he's played 5 more games, scored 1 more, got 1 more assist in the league than Borini. And in all round is just looking pretty good. 79 pace at the minute isn't too bad. 87 finishing is really good for a young winger, showing great potential only. So that is a little bit disappointing, but hopefully he can exceed that considering he's gone up 6 this season. I know I've been training him, but hopefully he will grow well past his potential. Next up is Octavio Rivero. Hasn't played this season, has potential to be special though, so could actually overtake Walter Mathis eventually. But his pace would need to go up a fair bit before that happens. Duncan Watmore out on loan at Bournemouth. I do believe they may not be in the Premier League, which is why he has no appearances in the Premier League. Not looking too bad, but 73 at 25 years old. I don't think he will make it next season and will probably be sold, which is disappointing because he's a player who actually seems to try in real life before he got injured. Although he may not be the best, but he's only young, so he has time to improve. Craig Farrell, one of my other favourite players. 2 goals and 3 assists in 18 games for the central midfielder. Not bad, exciting prospect, looking pretty decent in those stats. Next up is Danny Barrera, the Scout Future star from the first season. 8 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists. Not bad for a 64 rated centre mid with exciting prospect. Danny Zakaria, 9 games, 1 assist, 2 in the FA Cup as well. And just 75 overall, up by 2 this season. Not looking bad, so hopefully you're enjoying this. This is the only time I think I'm going to be going through the players in this much depth. Larson growing pretty poorly. 3 games in the Premier League, 1 game in the Cup. No goals or assists after he was the top scorer in the first season. Nuno Miguel Malheiro da Sá is transfer listed, has played 1 game and has gone up by 2. Cifuentes, 70 rated, has potential to be special, has not played. Dylan O'Donnell, not played, 3 months left on his contract. I will probably give him a new one, looking not too bad, 68 overall. 75 overall for Andres Tello, on loan from Juventus. Played 4 times in the league, 6 games altogether, and not done much really at 75 overall. Silvio Luna, out on loan at Carlisle, has played 1 game in the EFL Cup. His finishing's gone up nicely at the overall of 66. Survey, a player that we bought in for 9.5 million, already 4 million more, well, 3.5 million more valuation, but only has the same amount of goals and assists as Walter Mathis in 5 more games. Obviously his finishing is not as high, he is quite a bit faster at 90 pace, but 80 overall, not too bad. Guerrero has played 17 times in all competitions, 2 assists, and doesn't look too bad with showing great potential. Albert, 68 overall, loan listed, not played any games, not looking too bad. Correa, out on loan at Bayern Munich, has not played in any of the competitions we're in, obviously, and not looking too bad at the age of 19 at 70 overall. So there is Colin Wood, has potential to be special, played 8 times in all competitions, got 1 assist, 68 overall. 70 overall for Cameron Ward, gone up by 5 this season, not looking bad at all, but now he is out for 5 months. He has shown he has potential to be special with 1 goal and 1 assist in 7 games, so less games, 1 more goal. Russell Haber not played, no potential tag yet as he is only 58 overall. 79 overall for Kyle Lauren, played 4 times in the league, scored 3 goals, not bad so far for 12.5 million. 5 games altogether, as it wasn't the FA Cup he scored in, but he did get an assist. 79 overall also for Andre Gray, played 25 times in all competitions, 7 goals, all of them in the cup, in the league, 3 assists as well. Soro has 1 goal in all competitions, he's played 69 times. He has 8 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, so pretty similar to that of Cameron Ward. And not looking too bad at all, pretty fast as well. Toby Jackson, up 5 to a 58, not played whatsoever this season, and no potential tag yet. Jan Karamor, showing great potential, 5 goals in 16 games in the league, 2 assists as well, not looking too bad at 74 overall, and will probably be returning to the bench for the next game, as he's looking pretty good pace as well. So this video is going to finish around about the 50-minute mark. Josh Maya, another decent youngster coming through the Sunderland Academy in real life. He is out on loan, not played in any of the competitions, but looking decent at 68 overall. Gabriel Xavier, 69 overall, up by 5, last player on the list. Exciting prospect, no games played, actually 1 game in the AFL Cup, but no other games played this season, and that is the end of the squad report. I'm just going to quickly advance to the next game, as actually, yes, I forgot about this. The 2nd is the date that the youth scouting report comes back, and this is the last of it. Japan, so all of these players without a pace. Actually, I don't need to do that because that will just reject them anyway. Simon Ojoma coming in, Ezekiel Akpan coming in, and Benjamin Bakari coming in. So no to Dixon Nwapa, and he is the only player being rejected. No to Toby Edwards, yes to Billy Griffiths, no to Callum Roberts, no to Alfie Cooper, and a yes to Brandon Green, although he may not make it past this month, and rejecting them 3 that I said no to. And one last thing with Joe Lesoro, saying thank you for being in the squad, but that is how the episode is finishing. We have games in hand over the side above us, which is why we've dropped from being level on points with the side top to being 7 points off top and being sat in 5th. So hopefully it will be a bit more challenging, and looks like that is how this is going to finish. This is going to be the end of the stream now, so thanks for anyone who has showed up. Thanks to everyone who's watched this on YouTube. If you've enjoyed the video on YouTube, please do leave a like, that is much appreciated. If you want to see any more of this career mode, please do subscribe, or if you want to see the Ultimate Team series, subscribe as well, that would be much appreciated. But if I just want to say once again, thanks for watching. See you later.